What I think will be the hardest part of this challenge, not wanting to kill myself.
Me too, kid.
Get down, Mr. President! No!
But Kaya's not gonna be on the team for much longer.
If you say your mom, you're fired. My mom? Get out! My perfect ass! Oh no!
Benny's adventure team. I have failed.
What? Are you kidding me? Would you guys rather be known as foot soldiers or the wolf pack? They're both kind of cringe, but it's just funny. The wolf pack. I just personally don't understand the reason why the option is not there.
There can be no excuse or defeat.
Because when you talk to Kazuha at the end, if you say, let's go, he brings you back over to the tournament and you finish the quest. And yes, this other option is actually you declining him. If you try to be a good friend, he just leaves you here. The main worry here was the lightning because we are a sitting duck. We can aim and rotate, but we cannot move. So when this started, I used Noel's shield to protect us from the lightning, and it served its purpose. There was no lightning, but we did have the extra protection. And of course, immediately when the shield went down, lightning struck.
Pressure getting to you?
Living in the city. Living in the city. Come on. Living in the city. Thoughts on The Boys? I love Boys. Pause. The Boys on Amazon Prime. Not that there's anything wrong with that. My sister is studying right now and watching you. Can you please say, Lena, you're a nerd? Lena. What are you doing right now? You have all day in the world to study. There's 24 hours in a day. And would you rather spend all 24 of those studying for some test that you're going to forget in 2 days? Or would you rather spend 3 of those hours on a Mistahfeet stream? Chat, what are the options? 1 or 2? Lena, that's just disappointing. Can't spell Lena without an L. Am I right, chat? Can we get L's for Lena? Prisms. Are you, how garbage is this game? Are you kidding me? And this next part isn't in the script, but I just realized this. This will be the last time the old Ascension domain is ever in one of my videos. So I just want to take a second here and thank you for the memories, like spending 4 hours trying to beat Aleph with Lisa and spending over 2 hours with the level 1 characters. It's gone after this.
Thanks for watching.
I am not, okay, this is already going to be bad. Malta.
Hey, disconnected.
How is that supposed to, it's that one. That tells me nothing. Over here? What? Luxembourg. Dog. How was someone supposed to see this shit? Okay, Norway. What? How was anyone supposed to get this? How is anyone supposed to get that? That's south of it. I hated this. What was that? You need 50% to pass. I got 56. We start our journey with a little bit of magic. I guess we now know who is the tallest short queen.
And that makes me king! See? See?
What happened? My cat peed on my bed and I didn't hear anything. You know Lena, classic Lena. She's just being a bit of a nerd right now. I also just finished studying. Yeah, but here's the difference between a Chad like you and a loser like Lena. That's what the L in Lena stands for, actually. Loser. Actually stands for lame. Lena's actually an acronym. It's lame, empty, nerdy, and aggressive. That's aggressive because I'm guessing she gets mad when we talk about her in chat like this because she's not joining us. Kaya. Huh. Okay. Okay, 4-star, please. Please, character. Lena is now bullying me for watching you. Can you bully her back even more? Is this coming from the... This cannot be coming from the person who's like actively studying right now. Did you tell her what Lena stands for? Lame, empty, nerdy, and aggressive. Lena is now screaming because she said it's not true and she complained to dad and he said it was true. Believe it or not, it was actually... Chat, you're not gonna expect this plot twist. It was actually Lena's father who came up with that acronym. He told me about it. Who is Lena? Lena is a dumb poopy head who's not watching the stream right now. Now, where to go? We gotta go up there.
My flame has been extinguished.
I want to kill myself. I want to kill myself. I want to kill myself.
Just do the abyss. Chat, you want to see why we can't do the abyss? You really want to see why we can't do the abyss? Do you really want to see why we cannot do the abyss? Here, chat room, this is why we can't do the abyss. I can't attack. I can only jump. I would have to just, this does not count. This is me showing it. I would have to walk. I would have to walk. Weak people excuse. I'm not trying hard enough. I can't do anything. I literally can't do anything. Just do the abyss and get shungling. This challenge would go by so much faster. That's you guys, chat. That's you, by the way. I meant to think you're so bad. You're so bad. Just get Chugly. Get to use the charge attacks for the polearm. I can't. Those underscore muffins. I cannot do the spiral abyss. In order to start the abyss, you have to walk over to the key and press the interact button in order to start the abyss. I cannot do that because in this challenge, we cannot walk. And if we can't walk over to the button, then we can't do the abyss, which means that if we can't do the abyss, we can't do floor 1, we can't do floor 2, and we can't do floor 3, which is what gets you the shungling. So by doing the math, I cannot do the abyss to get shungling. Yeah, why don't you just walk? Okay. The bitch smack. Where do I even begin? This ability is on such a short cooldown, does good damage, and gives good energy. That last part shouldn't be surprising, but since I've played 2 characters who basically have no energy recharge, having this up so often is a blessing. This skill is also just a lot of fun to use, mainly because I would always yell, "Tornado uppercut!" whenever I hit someone with it. Since I'm a JoJo fan, I felt that the best name for our traveler in this no walking challenge would be Johnny. But I saw someone in chat mention a name that was even better. Because we aren't running this year, we will be known as Joe Biden. Hopefully something doesn't happen to him 2 days after uploading this video. Do you hear that, federal agents? Oh, hold up. Updates on Lena. Lena called mom and she's complaining because mom said it's true. All Lena has to do is join the chat. That's all she has to do. We're not going to get angry with her. That's all she has to do. Lena is watching those cringe, no one understands me TikToks. Please, someone help her. Oh, man. Quit hitting me. You got a clip for the video. Oh, wait, chat. Update on Lena. Chat, pause. Update on Lena. She watches the MJ of GI and she said she loved it. Thank you, Mona Lisa Eyebrows. Lena is finally no longer a nerd. Now Lena stands for common W Lena. No, it's not common for Lena. It's actually not. It is a rare W for Lena. L for legend. Okay. Enigmatic. She's a bit of a mystery. N. We'll go with nerdy still. We'll go with nerdy. And for A, awesome sauce. The 5-year-olds in chat are loving that line. Act 1 of Fontaine required us to dampen some flowers, which Lynette had no issue doing because of the cat.
So that was a fucking lie.
This will maybe be worse. No doubt, this will definitely be worse. The goal is 30%. This little ass worm over here is a country on a map. This is a country. Chat, is this real? This little ass worm that I was supposed to recognize? What? This little worm on the map? Morocco, that's near the north. That's where Pokemon's from. I'm a genius! Shout outs to Pokemon. Mozambique here. Mozambique here! Congo's somewhere over here, right? So Republic of it surely has to be like around here. Chad. Chad! Surely Central African Republic is in the center of Africa. Okay, good. As a reward for completing this, we got some wishes, and seeing as how we were really down on our luck, this was the perfect opportunity for a new character. You knew it was gonna be a weapon the second I said that sentence.
Oh, hell no! Ah!
Oh! That's probably like the set. Are you kidding me?
Fire, you son of a...
Help! Help! Yo, a 5-star? Please be a character. The holy liar. Oh, whoa.
I think I feel a song coming on.
Get this guy out of here.
Chat, I want you to be real with me. Do you think I could kick a 6-year-old's ass? I saw a couple of no's, which has me concerned, but would I still beat up the child if the mother was there? Depends. Is the mother bad? Because she has a shield. It's been a minute since I've done this, but I think we got it. Okay. Okay, we got this. Oh, 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 oh. Ooh! Who is this guy? Next, it was time for the child boss fight. And what a poor bastard. This man got stun locked for almost the entire fight. This was just bullying at this point.
And KYS, please, hop your ass off the Grand Canyon. Don't nobody give a fuck about you in life.
I think we're on final move, chat. Yes, we are. Oh, I'm leaning in. What? Left. Up. Diagonal. Diagonal. Right. Oh, Lord. We got it! Oh my god!
Before set.
Whenever you're far away from this enemy, they will always, and I mean always, choose to do this charge attack. This move is our key to victory. We can easily dodge the attack and get some free hits on his back without wasting time trying to hit his shield. And slowly but surely, our plan worked here. Beta was still holding on with 79 HP. Wait, chat, I know what I can do. I watched Mistahfeet's Can You Beat Genshin Impact without healing. If I run away from him, he'll do that attack and I can get free hits on him. Subscribe.
Welcome to the Anthony Spade channel.
The red pill coach gets me so much. Your daily red pill. All right, for those who aren't feeling well, I have to ask you, chat, did you take your daily dose of red pill? Did you take your daily red pill? Charged attack gameplay. These clashes just turned the game into a third-person shooter, to be honest. I would be so pissed if I was one of these mechas. If I saw a dirty boy run up to me and start uppercutting me with a sword so often that I start tweaking and cannot move, I would probably cry myself to sleep and leave the country the next day. Lynette could do this puzzle if there was no time limit.
That fucking time limit! That mother fucking sucking time limit! It's not even like there's a counter. It's like the game just pulls the plug. Like, oh, you're gonna win?
I don't want to play this anymore.
If you were to ask me if those core lapis were worth it at that time, I might have said yes. But as a man who has matured in the past 3 months, I can tell you, it was not.
For God's sakes, just give me the gun! I'll do it myself!
Ooh, bow character, Kale. It's like poetry. It rhymes. Since there's like 20 guys running at me, now, I know for a fact that I can take on 20 guys at once. Pause, in game. I just learned that you can activate this. Stop!
It's the hammer! He's real! Dudes, take my picture!
Chat, I think if I was in this situation, what I would do was I would see them harassing this young lady and I'd say, hey, back it off. She said no, and I think they would be scared. How do you think that would go for me, chat? This may not seem like a big deal, but just remember, this damage is permanent. The scars will remain and tell a story of how this game tried to break us, but it will fail. Come on!
Did you eat a treat from right here? No. So why they saying you ate a treat if you ain't eat a treat from? Did you eat? I'm gonna ask you again. Did you eat a treat from right here? No. All right.
For the cargo mission, we know how well Freeze, Bloom, and Electrocharge do against these enemies. But now, we get to properly see what all vapes can do in the hands of Bennett. Oh my god. I think that might have been the most damage a character has done in all of these challenges. Bennett, I think you might be going a little too hard on these vapes.
Enough! I'm not addicted! I can quit my addictive vices anytime I want!
All-out attack.
This is a holdup! Beat him up!
And with these results, next was the fight against Sara's men. Nothing interesting happened here, I just wanted to show you this dodge because it was pretty cool. It reminded me of bullfighting.
That's my son!
The second quest, though, nearly scared the absolute shit out of me. I chose to do Jean's quest second, and my face hit the 1,000-yard stare when I saw my controls change. I was not prepared to do a stealth mission, and I was not taking any chances, so I got our bait ready, threw it like an Olympic champion, and like a true predator, struck when the time was right. Then we make it to Mountain Shaper, and just to pour salt into the wound, Lynette breaks the amber without having to resort to any outside interference. Rex Lapis assassinated at the rite of dissension? Things did not go well for her.
Come on, Flat.
For those who asked me my favorite ship in Genshin, it's this, Connor and Diluc. I can't see one without the other. And I think he's gone forever now, actually. Chat, how would you guys feel if I started doing YouTube shorts and the ending of it, I did the, and that's why, and it looped, but it was like terribly mistimed and it didn't make sense with the introduction. And that's why. There's a lot of times where I think about punching a hole through this monitor, but then I remember that it costs like $1,000. But I chose to do the Xingqiu story quest before that.
This was a mistake!
Believe it or not, this was the most annoying quest in the game. Yeah, I did not expect this either. We had to literally walk all the way to the other side of the map, and I mean literally. We had to go visit Chang the Ninth 3 times in total. And keep in mind, every time we had to go there, we also had to leave. This quest took over 2 hours to do, when normally it's only about 50 minutes. I encountered a very strange coincidence. Someone named Ether without an A and a Lumine without the E.
Coincidence? I think not!
Those people were in cahoots, trying to conspire again. After conducting a federal investigation, we sang to some flowers.
You are my special. You are my special. You are my special.
Towards the end of the quest, Sleepy Joe has to deliver some drone strikes on the Hilly Churls, but there is an issue here, and it's not a moral one. Icarus! Icarus! No! What happened? So I think we deserve this.
Because of hatred.
Hatred?
Hatred for hatred drove it.
But why would hate the city?
Hatred.
For our first attempt, I once again tried to exercise my testosterone by choosing to go for the hard difficulty, which went terribly. Well, this went off great. Okay. So that went terribly. But on the normal difficulty, we did pass the test after getting hit 7 times, so I don't know what country considers a 30 passing, but I guess Inazuma is one of them now. But it's not as bad as being named Lucas with a K. Ha ha ha. Spell your name right, then maybe you can join my world next time, you egomaniac. Will we make this in time? Surely we do. The pot got rid of our Scarlet Crystal. This encounter, I chose to keep Charlotte in the battle, despite her expiration date arriving soon. You may see this decision as dumb, or even brash, but I saw this as confidence. Because me and Aleph, we go way back, okay? As Charlotte proceeded to expire. No. How many rounds do we do? You want to do 10 rounds? This is the chasm. Hold up. It's over here because we got the rocks. There's the statue of the 7 right there. The statue of the 7 is around over here. I'm guessing around maybe here-ish. Guess. Oh! Chat, I think this is for me. I think we found the mode. Sumeru. Okay, we are in the mushrooms. Hold up, we're in the mushrooms. So for a fact, we're gonna be around this area. That is the big mushroom. Okay, I know this path. I know this path. That is over there. That village is around over here. So we're kind of like over, I think around here-ish. Chat, I think, okay, I'm cooking this game. I guarantee you, this is actually, I'm actually cooking on this. Oh, easy. This is by Mooncarver. No, this is by Mountain Shaper, I mean. This is by Mountain Shaper. This is around, over here-ish, I think. I'm gonna go, like, right here. Who is this guy? Yeah, this is by the stealth section. Wait, let me double check. Yes, because you start Kariber over there. So, if you start Kariber over there, then that means we're, like, right here. Who is this? This is supposed to be a punishment? This is supposed to be a punishment? Now, let's see. Okay, we are, oh, I know where this is. I know where this is. Yeah, this is that island by Sumeru by Watatsumi. This is the mechanical one. There should be like a hole. Yeah, there's a hole right there. Easy. Chat, you should not have told me that you can look around. That was the worst mistake of your life. Yeah, see, the hole's right there. Where it's gonna be like literally right here. You made the worst mistake of your life telling me I could look around. This is the shore of Leeway. Yep, because if you go over here, there'll be the statue of the 7. Yep. Right behind us, I'm not gonna turn right now, is like a ginormous pillar. Right behind us is a ginormous pillar. See? Told you. This is the Sumerian desert. This is a big chasm. This is where I'm not as good. Okay, I know exactly where this is now. Okay. We are probably around this part. Okay, I was a little farther off. Lost the perfect score? Yeah. Zeus, go ahead. Get that ass banned. Mods, ban that guy, thank you. Lastly, we had the mountain crane, and all I wanted in this moment was to have better RNG than the no teleporting run. And thankfully, Joe Biden got what he wanted. Yes, good RNG! 1% represent. We did end this domain off on a good note, though, because our main DPS was actually able to do her job.
I killed something!
Let's take a look at all the characters Genshin has given us so far.
What is it?
I am under the water.
We immediately had to go back 1,000 meters for the cooking contest. And no, I'm not going to call it a kilometer.
What the fuck is a kilometer?
And this next part is not really relevant to the challenge as a whole, but I would just like to say that right before Diluc's Domain, we did the normal version of it and got the lowest damage number possible. 1. Only problem was that we had a hard time completing the objective.
Nope, 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 nope.
I'm gonna be pissed. Why? I don't even know if that was technically in the circle or not. Rex Lapis. Assassinated. Wait for it. At the right of dissension? If they can't move, they can't hurt you. Yes! You
Wrong. But how?
yourself.
That was really bad.
If someone's younger than you, their opinion does not matter. Where did he put that thing? What should we do with this eye? It's like, I don't know. Do whatever you want with this. Shove it up your ass for all I care. He was like, okay, traveler. Have I watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners? No, I've seen Cyberpunk Goon Runners though. Chat, that was a good one. We're gonna jump off a bridge. The other thing that was blessed in this run is Bennett's physical strength, because how the hell did Tornado Uppercut knock this big ass dragon on its ass? This character is so whack.
Say the line, Bart.
The almighty Raiden Shogun and the Muso no Hitotachi.
But the trick to this fight was just being aggressive. The longer this fight went on, the more damage the weather would do. So all we had to do was picture her as John Lennon and keep the attack up.
Kill John Lennon. Kill John Lennon.
We killed him! Suck it, John Lennon.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
The only part that kinda had me worried was when we had to follow Al Haytham, because he just kinda left us in the dust, and the conversation before made it seem like we were gonna get caught and dragged away. Really?
But miss input, calm down! You calm the Calm down!
Chat, who here ate Play-Doh? Because I'll be honest, it did not taste bad. Yep, Play-Doh was pretty good. I'm smart enough not to eat it. Whoa, we got Stephen Hawking in the chat. Oh yeah, chat, I do have questions. I don't really know if I'd be able to do variety during the span of this challenge, but when I do variety, other than that, we had the first Fontaine presidential debate with Farina, which we won pretty handily.
The radical left. Will you shut up, man? Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
Towards the end of the story, we challenged Farina to one last final debate for the presidency of Fontaine.
You're the sucker. You're the loser.
Woohoo!
Hey, well, whatever I do now is on Gleb.
Until Sleepy Joe decided to push that Cryo Herald off the edge. Did bro just die? Why did you keep my name as Mistahfeet? Because I thought it would be funny. It was either that or like a XX Death God Zombie Lord _ XX. Shungling surprised me a lot here. Oh yeah, I can edge to this.
I can't stand.
Sumeru Act 2.
I can't stand him. I hate him.
Oh, fuck.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
And as we drew closer to Fontaine, we start our journey with something that has never been done in the history of this channel. We picked Lumine. And the reason why was because she's slower than Ether. And I know you guys love to see me suffer. Mr. Beast 6000, whoa!
D-Luke.
I was having a good day. So how did this all play out for us? Toma is so hot tied up. All right, I think you might need to go in timeout for a bit. We are doing a last man standing challenge where all you have to do is stay standing on your own 2 feet and the winner gets $1 million. Oh my God, Jimmy killed her. As we leave the challenge, we immediately had to walk 1,300 meters.
I want to do some kicking.
How?
Get back in the kitchen.
But in the middle of the fight, I received some mail. And after chat was asking me to open it, I did, but little did we all know that it was someone trying to hack the election. Someone trying to interfere in this race. The account was saved though because cybersecurity did change their password, and the timer was also moved over to cover the UID for the future invaders of the stream. But this was a little demotivating. We were making a lot of progress in this race, and I was beginning to have doubts about doing challenges like these in the future. It made me think about how nearly 20 hours of progress could be wiped away just like that. I didn't even know if it was safe to stream the rest of this race. I wanted to stop this race before we could even make it over to the finish line. And as I thought about turning off the game, I remembered this one quote from Joe Biden.
So the best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway.
Wrong clip, wrong clip!
We do not scare easily. We never bow. We never bend. We never break. We are America, second to none, and we own the finish line. Don't forget it.
And with this newfound confidence, we failed a domain a couple of times, but we eventually overcame that and started the finale of Leeway at 20 hours. Our legs didn't have to work as hard since we had a very small area to move in. And since our legs didn't have to do much, we decided to give our ears some action.
Don't kill me. Kill me.
Other than that, this one is mostly the same. Just following Junior. Act 2 done. Yippee!
This isn't balanced. It just isn't. You cannot argue that this is balanced.
I got to witness heartbreak when I was like working at the sorority house. I listened to I like not all the time, but I'd listen to some of the girls talk about like the guys they were saying because I'd have to clean and they would still not leave to put up their dishes. And since they were talking loud, I could hear it on their conversations. I heard about the experience of a short king and my heart dropped because this girl was literally talking about a guy and she was like, yeah, he's funny, he's sweet, he's cute. And then she just ended it all by saying, but he's short. Like a dagger in my heart. I don't know who she was talking about, but that poor guy. She was complimenting him for like 5 minutes. Then she said, but he's short. We are the Sigmas of the night. Yeah, that'll strike fear into all of the 4th graders on the playground. If I did a jump scare, I promise you guys, you would all get scared. You would not see it coming. I'll tell you what it'll sound like, but you're not gonna see it coming, all right? I would do a FNAF one. It'll be like picture perfect. I mean, like, seriously, I don't think you'll see it coming. I'm telling you to brace yourself because you're not gonna see it. Bro got spring locked. You're the best autism role model for us autisms. I'm not even a confirmed autist. Here it is. The autism assessment test. I prefer to do things on my own rather than with others. I prefer doing things the same way. For instance, my morning. I find myself becoming strongly absorbed. I am very sensitive to noise and will... I have nothing to say anymore, man. Okay, it's not as bad as some people were thinking. Some people are like dead on it. So chat, we now know the answer. I am not autistic. I am borderline autistic. My favorite parts of JoJo in order: 7, 8, 5, 4, 2, 6, 1, 3. You know how there's the meme that at the end of animated kids movies, there has to be a dance party? Well, ever since Sumru, Genshin has added a rule that at the end of a nation's climax, you have to talk to every playable character you met in the nation. The finale starts with us going to Poison, which is only 750 meters away. After talking to Navia, the game then asks us to go to the Fortress of Maripide. Here is where unfinished comedy comes back into play. I guess you could say we had unfinished business. Jokes aside, this is actually very important for us. 2,200 meters away from us is the key to this challenge. By continuing the part where we left off at, we have to defeat some robots. Once we're done, we get taken back inside of the prison, which allows us to talk to all the characters the game wants us to. After that, the game then tells us to go to the harbor, which we can't do. An eye for an eye is the next part of the unfinished comedy quest, which gives you another exit from prison. Once you sneak past the guards and enter the secret room, you have to solve a maze. After breaking the 3 seals, there's only one thing stopping us, and it's just desserts. With the guard defeated, we unlocked the secret exit, and we could finally leave the Fortress of Maripide. Oh, chat. I just thought of a really embarrassing one. I thought of an extremely embarrassing one. Okay. This one was fall semester of my senior year of college. I was in a class called Survey of Japanese Literature because I needed it for my minor. I left that classroom on the last day of that class with the worst impression possible. Now, I did not talk throughout most of the class. If the teacher asked me to answer something, I would answer, but I'm not going out of my way to talk. So most people didn't know me, and they don't know my name is Mistahfeet. We're talking about Japanese authors, and there was one time period where our teacher, she mentioned how the authors were, and it was on the PowerPoint, she said they were very expressive about their fetishes through their work. She said that, and she listed off some examples on the PowerPoint, and one of those things was a foot fetish one. So jokingly, I might add, I sit on the edge of the back row. I looked over to my friends who sit right next to me, and I was doing the thing to where I was acting fake nervous. I was like, whoa. I was like, that guy must be a real weirdo then. And I was like, whoa. And then past my friends, I see that there's 8 other people on the row that are also looking at me, giving me the most disgusted look imaginable. So there was that. Farewell, Nervulet. If depression was a city, it would be London. Yeah, chat, I was playing Jackbox with some friends yesterday, and we were playing the rapping one, and I found a way to add Sheldon Cooper into my rap. I can't kill them. I can't do it. I'm a villain, not a monster. Now this is badass. There's no need to beat around the bush.
Let's get that one!
Looking back, it's kinda crazy to see that the first elemental reaction they encourage you to create was one that wasn't available in the first 2 years of this game's life. But the last time I was excited to use a character, it didn't work out too well for us.
He's horrible!
Kale's skill is the boomerang, which, I'll be honest, I didn't know was a boomerang until this playthrough. I always thought she threw her bow, but then I saw the idle animation, so yeah. In my defense, that is a comically large boomerang compared to the one she shows us. You either just say, let's go gambling, or you just say lesbians. And then it just becomes a spam fest. Let's go gambling. Oh, the gamblers are trying to take over. What's gonna win, the gamblers or the lesbians? Oh man, I don't know who's gonna win this war. Let's go gambling, lesbian heart. Let's go gambling, lesbian heart. Let's go gambling, lesbian heart. Gamblers, I'm gonna be honest, I think that was a big L from you guys. We got no 4 stars or 5 stars. I think that was a big L from your move. I think the lesbians win this one. Wait, no, we go standard banner. Let's go gambling. Oh, another loss for the gamblers. Will the gamblers finally catch a W? And the lesbians win yet again. Oh, the gamblers finally won. The gamblers finally won, and it was a bow. The gamblers finally got a victory over the lesbians. Can't spell lesbians without L. Here we go. Gamblers, you get one last shot, one last opportunity. Oh, lesbians. Oh, lesbians. That is rough for you all. All right, here it is, the big reveal with room for one wish. Who wins? And it is a victory for the lesbians. Gamble for us? Go for it. All right. Gamblers, do you beat out the lesbians this time? I'm thinking no. Ooh, gamblers. And here it is. The final pull. And the winners with a 5-0 sweep goes to the lesbians. And there's no more Stardust for them. Gamblers, wait. There might be one last ray of hope. 25. Just out. Wait, gamblers. We almost forgot. You guys get your dailies. There's still the dailies and adventure rank rewards. Gamblers, you might have a chance. Lesbians, victory is not assured just yet. The gamblers still have one more wish. I was wrong. Wait, gamblers have more. Gamblers have 2 tries. Gamblers have 2 tries to win. Gamblers won! The gamblers win! Could not be written any better. Could not be written any better. Oh, this last pull doesn't even matter. Just to flex the gamblers back to back. Oh, the lesbians are furious. The lesbians are like, oh my gosh. The lesbians are like actually gamer raging. That poor child. Please, let her go. She didn't do anything. Our last venture with Shinhe was the base fight, and literally all I wanted to do was manifest, but clearly Shinhe and I were not on the same wavelength. Manifest, 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 manifest. Fuck this game. There was the time now this was the literal last day of class. Our teacher was asking us for examples of stories that showed proof of like Japan becoming more modernized. And there was this one story we read. It was called like the High School Girl Watcher. It's about a guy who's like going through like a midlife crisis basically. He has a family, but he's kind of depressed. And the only joy he gets in life is when he goes to work and he sits on a train and looks at high school girls. It's pretty weird, but that's basically the gist of the story. We read that story and she asked the class for examples of like which stories do you guys remember? And no one said it, but I was like, okay, I'll say that. And then everyone in the class was like, whoa. And I was like, I'm sorry, I remembered it. It's a weird story. I remembered it. And then she asked another question. She was like, what's an example of Japan modernizing? Like of these stories, which is an example of Japan being modernized? And I could tell everyone knew the answer, but they didn't want to say it. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll say it. And I was like, the High School Girl Watcher. And then my Japanese teacher straight up said, she was like, whoa, you're saying this story a lot. You must really like high school girls. I was like, no, I'm sprinting. But yeah, she basically tried to out me in front of the whole class, and I was like, no, I don't. I was like, please stop doing this. Gang, I woke up at the crack of dawn to watch this. How are you? We're doing good. You woke up at the crack? Well, it's a good thing you woke up at the crack because we're the shit. Am I right, chat? Was at a bar. My name is Jalen, and I am a Super Saiyan. SAS Prakipi and Falsehood. Star Rail has so much better ads than Genshin, because Star Rail, their ads are so simple. It's either a character trailer or like a character doing their ultimate. While Genshin, it's just like, would you rather Icebridge as Kaya or Ayaka? And it's like, who gives a sh? I think we actually lucked out here with a bug, because we kept rolling without us losing any stamina.
That's a bug! That's a bug! That is a bug!
Story time with Chris. Are you guys familiar with the Da Vinci twins chat room? I have met them. Believe it or not. Believe it or it's not the Island Boys. Island Boys. It's not the Island Boys. I met them in Paris. We just left the Louvre, which was where the Mona Lisa is. And I was feeling so tired. My legs were hurting. I was ready to go to sleep. But my brother wanted to go see the Arc de Triomphe. So we made the walk over there. And then out of the corner of my eye, as I'm walking past the street, like a ray of light beams across my face. I see these two tall blonde men walk past me, and they look a little familiar, but I'm like, there's no way, it's not them. Then someone behind me asked, yo, can I get a picture with you guys? And I was like, no way, it is actually them. So after they took the picture with that guy, I talked to them for a little bit and got a picture with them. The funniest part about it is, after that, my legs were fine. It's like they gave me a boost of energy. I was not feeling tired anymore. It was like they were truly my ray of sunshine that I needed in life at the moment. Because once we reached Scaramouche, Bennett did two more impressive things. If you want to learn another thing about this ability, then check this out. He somehow managed to join their Nirvana club. I just don't get it.
But I'm not done yet!
The second most impressive thing Bennett did here was break the damage record again, as well as one-phasing the boss. Man, it's so good to play a great character. The process to AR40 took about 3 hours, mainly because most of the XP consisted of me doing dailies and dumping resin on either the flower or the domain. I wish I had more time to explore, but I just couldn't. I had to play like this because I did not have much time after finishing Karibert. Why, you may ask? Because I did all of this in 3 days. Yes, 3 days.
3 days!
I had all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to do this account, and Bennett got it to AR38 in 3 days. This says so much about this character. Or in actuality, that says a lot about my social life. But remember, she's alone now, and she picked the bear. The problem is that you're locked into doing this move, and if there's an attack coming, you have to either dodge and cancel the strikes, or take the hit. We reached a damage high of 838, and when we fought the Pyro Flower, we set a new damage low for any character in this entire series, 5. 5 damage. Despite this impressively low number, I dare you to do a cringe Deku voice for a minute. Okay, 308. All right, we'll go. Oh my god, there's 2 more enemies here? Oh, jeez. All Might would know what to do. I love All Might. It's okay. We have our friends here who can help us. Joe Biden dropped a rock on him. He's doing great. I have a friend who can turn into a rock. Oh, jeez. That red one looks angry. Almost like Bakugo kind of angry. I don't want to tick him off. Yikes, he gained health back? What? Oh man, we've only got like 20 seconds left. Hopefully we can kill this guy before then. Yes, we did it, team. Let's get swaps for everyone, because they all put in great effort there. Thank you, Paimon. I did my best. I'm doing fine, thank you. Oh, here's our comrades. They did great. All right, that's a minute. That's a minute. That's a full minute, okay? I did it. It's been so long. Not a big fan. Chat, are we big fans of the government? 30 on 30. 30 on 30. 30 on 30. 30 on 30. What would I do as the last human on Earth? As the last human on Earth, I would do my best to survive. I would probably, after a year, it'd probably be scary, but I would probably evolve to where I could reproduce asexually, like a lizard. And I'd have it to where my own children would grow. And I'd probably find like a sink to drink water out of and survive. There we go. Evolution takes multiple generations, right? I'm kind of different. Get Farina and walk on water. That's actually a really good idea. Where is she? Please. I'm an advocate. INFJ. There you go, chat. Inaccurate. What? Chat room, is this good or bad? I have no idea. Did I pass? I understand Paimon's purpose in the game. I do not have a problem with her yapping because it makes sense to have her there for players having a hard time understanding the material. But there's two solutions to this. Have a skip cutscene button, or at the very least, make our dialogue options matter. The worst example of this is at the end of the second days of quest, and I'll let this clip from Zach speak for itself.
By the way, what they said just now is all pretty confusing. Did you understand it at all?
Yeah, I pretty much got it.
Oh, well then, let's go over it again.
No, please don't. I chose the first option so that you would not make me go over it again.
You're like, I got it. I got it.
Oh, okay. They just, this is fine.
First off, that
Oh, never mind.
You won your elections. Your school student president. Chat, can we get some woos? We have an official office person in the chat room. They are school student president. Can we get some uppercase awus for that? Lowercase awus will be banned. We were in a really bad state right now. How did you and Farina get married? We met at a coffee shop, actually. I was just chilling in there writing my script for a video, and she walked in and I saw the dress and I was like, well, that's a little bit fancy for a coffee shop, I thought. But I didn't say anything then because I was so scared. And she kind of made like a big deal when she came in. She had people like surrounding her, and it was very clear that it was a big deal that someone of her caliber was there. But I was a foreigner, so I wasn't really sure like who she was. And she got her coffee and she needed a place to sit, but the entire venue was so crowded. So the only available spot was a chair right across from me, and everyone else was being rude. They wouldn't give up their seat for her. So she sat across from me and we just began talking. And she was just so happy to meet someone that didn't treat her like a celebrity and treat her like a normal person. So yeah, that's how it started. Yeah, a true love story. Biden's old nemesis has returned.
Ah, my old enemy. Stairs.
I have to do this again. We made our way inside of the tree and took the road less traveled by. I bet you didn't even know about this path. People can say a lot of things about my videos, but one thing they can't say is that they didn't learn anything. He broke his promise to me. And I just gotta ask, how strong is Bennett? Because the fact that he knocked this Biggie Churl on its ass, I just have to know.
How is he this strong? How many push-ups did he do? How many sit-ups? What kind of juice did he drink?
I'm not even gonna play the clip. This move has transcended being a meme. Yes! Yes! Perfect. I was pretty happy about this because it gave us another crowd character, and I've never used her before. But I know how Fontaine characters work. I knew that there was something in her abilities that had to either damage her or heal herself. So I decided to do what no Genshin player has ever dared to do. Poor Bennett, who was just one bad cough away from dying. Oh. This girl's name is Dusky Ming. Oh yeah, that's going in my cringe compilation. Okay, 4-star? Yes. Alright, character we don't have. Character we don't have, please. Yes! Yes! Perfect. Yunjin was a great addition to the team, especially since she was our Noelle replacement because we unfortunately lost her to fall damage. No! Just joined. What did I miss? There was actually a huge bomb that went off in the game, and we had to slowly run across the entire map as fast as possible while screaming, "Ah!" We had to go as fast as we could. The only downside is that it means we have to do charged attack gameplay. To begin, we fight at Mooncarver's place, which was just a one-sided affair. Thanks to the cooldown buff, the enemies just stood no chance. I'ma keep it blunt. Some of them just straight up gave up. So how well does Lynette do in this environment? Can she handle the heat, or does she need to leave the kitchen? You shut your mouth. Triple Death Bear Barrage. I'm back in the stream. What did you miss? There was a ginormous plane that flew by in the world, and it nearly crashed into the Shogun's palace, but we were able to redirect it. Geo-Traveler rocks. We built a ginormous arrow with our Geo-Traveler rocks and told it to go the other way, so it didn't crash.
Ready? Go!
Oh my god. Please. Guys, what I missed was actually a pretty historical event that went on in the game. So, there was actually a car accident that happened. Scaramouche was driving his Honda Civic right by the academia, and he ran over Nilu. Nilu is currently dead. That's what you missed out on. I'm like, did I miss anything? Nilu f***ing died. I'm playing The Forest right now. It's mad scary. You want to know what else is scary? Yo, her eyes. Whoa. Like, seriously, this thing is f***ing huge for no reason.
That's quite big. Impressive.
Punishments? So, for punishments, I am fully confident that I will not mess up in this challenge. You know what? Every time we mess up, that's 50 pulls. We're not even gonna do 1 for 10. We didn't really have any problems here.
Kyoshiki. Murasaki.
Booyah! Alright, I'm ADHD and can't decide. I've been told by people that I might have undiagnosed ADHD. Like, people with ADHD, they think I have it. My old boss literally asked me if I was on the spectrum. Like, I remember I said something and then she straight up asked me, "Are you on the spectrum?" And I was like, I don't know. Most content creators have it. So chat, do you guys think there's a good chance that I might be on the spectrum of some sort? Yeah, I have thought about getting tested, and if the results came in positive, then it'd be one of those things where it's like, if I ever met a content creator that also had it, I'd like to like swap our certificates, kind of like how athletes do, like a jersey swap, autism like diagnosis, something like that. It's that guy. Does he ever do anything? Like, legitimately, does he ever do anything in this quest? Wait, okay, yes, that is the guy. Or do I activate this? So, was that what I'm supposed to do or no? Switch camera, I need the blue light to hit it. Switch POV, how do we switch the POV? It's stuck at this though. This is the only POV. The other camera, where is the other camera? Like that? Are you serious? That was a camera? That was a camera? I did not know that was a camera. You're probably wondering right now, Mistahfeet, you're so funny and attractive, but how could you move in a no moving challenge? And this is the answer you've all been waiting for. They might as well be holding a sign that says, "Please hit me." And if you want to get philosophical, you could debate that it doesn't count because Biden's feet were on the air and all of that stuff. But while you do that, I'm gonna go gambling. This ability is just a worse version of Yolan's in almost every way. Lynette's is slower, doesn't last as long, and targets just one enemy. But even that last point is iffy, because this move likes to miss for some reason. I don't know how, because it has a targeter, but somehow this move manages to find a way to not hit whatever it's going for. Like, how in the hell did I miss this Ruin Guard? Tainari forces us to do his bidding by having us clean the Withering Zone and the tree. Wow. Literally 1984. I'm gonna use that joke again for the lighthouse section because that's all there is to talk about in Act 1.
Embarrassing!
Come!
言葉を知ってるか。さらに向こうへ連れて入れたら。
The Hydro Abyss Herald fights can go one of two ways, and it's entirely dependent on Guoba. If the Herald doesn't move, you can get some decent damage, but if it does move, then you might as well just walk around the house for 12 seconds, since you're gonna be waiting on Guoba to come back in order to really do anything. Next was the first fight against the
Raiden Shogun. Sounds like a lot of Raiden Shogun. Sounds like a lot Raiden Shogun. Sounds like a Raiden Shogun. And the Muso no Hitotachi.
But yeah, chat, I did play Overwatch like a month ago, and I actually got recognized. Because normally when I play other games, I don't have Mistahfeet as my name, just because I have like other accounts made before I did YouTube. But the only reason my Overwatch name is Mistahfeet is because my friend was like, "Oh, you should change your name, it's free." And I was like, "You know what, I'll do that." But it was a trap, because whenever I'd queue up with him, every game, or he would go into the match chat, and he would just say, "Hey guys, go sub to Mistahfeet on YouTube." I play Genshin Impact, and he would do that every single time we went into a match. And I was so embarrassed because I was like, why are you doing this? He was advertising my channel around. I hated it so much. A bullet to the brain, outside, inside out, living la vida loca. Living la vida loca. Will I let you use my C6 Kazuha? No! Goku! Hatsune Miku, yeah, Hatsune Miku is in the chat. Hatsune Miku, if you are still here, can you please let us know? Where is Hatsune Miku? I'm here! Yay! Hatsune Miku's here! It's a mix of Miku, Goku. No. We began our trip to Port Ormos, which is 1,500 meters away. This is the only real annoying part about Act 1, because once we get there, we pretty much stay at this location for the rest of the quest. It's like ripping off a band-aid. You just want to get it done as fast as possible. Had I messed that up, we would have fallen and teleported. But you know what? I didn't. That's not copying, that's
Whoops.
I missed this jump twice, which means that I had to add 100 more pools to the bank. Let's see. Oh! Chachi's here! Chachi's here! Oh, we actually got her! Oh, yeah, this is awful. No, it's over for me. It's actually over. If I get over 50, I win. I've never heard of this country. Brunei, I've never heard of it. My fault, chat. It's this small ass dot. These small ass countries. I'm just a fucking idiot, I guess. Oh, first try. Huge, chat. Ain't no way you don't know Sri Lanka. Chat, I did not take a geography class. I never took a geography class. East Timor. So I want to say it's somewhere east, but I have a feeling it's not this one. I have a feeling East Timor is somewhere over here. Another small ass dot. Turkmen. I've not even heard of this place. That small ass little rock? I was close. I was close to 50. I did better than I thought. I told you it was going to be bad. Charged attack gameplay. And I can now say that Kale has fully avenged him. Dose. The game speaks Spanish.
Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
What? Then we got sniped by a hilly churl with the best aim I've ever seen in my life. What? How did he hit me? Second to my own, of course. Whole gimmick with these enemies is that they do damage over time. But little do they know,
Well, he's never fought me.
she loves to live in pain. So these fools didn't realize they were only making her stronger.
Yes, you can hurt me as much as you want. The pain will only make me stronger. Okay, that's a pretty creepy thing to say.
Following one of the worst sentences I've ever said in my life, we came across the wolf enemies, but little do they know,
Well, he's never fought me.
Yeah, he has.
He's never fought me twice.
so they still haven't comprehended that we enjoy the pain. But not that much, because when we landed on the ship, the burn combined with the damage from our skill hurt like a bitch.
Whoa. Hey.
We had one last shot. One glimpse of hope to have a chance of completing this challenge. We had to get a 4-star character from this banner. This was our last chance of completing the run. We had to get a character. Yes, not Bennett. Not Bennett. Not Bennett. We were basically stuck with just our Amber, and there was no way we could beat all of Inazuma without healing Amber at least once. We only had 2 options here. Either break a rule and spend money to try and get more characters, or start over.
Outlanders, your journey ends here.
Eureka! And yes, even this Geo agent cannot withstand Bennett's viral male energy when he goes boom.
Did somebody say boom?
Just like that. Embrace the anger. Embrace it. The wrath of the gods fills this factory, and it feeds on your anger. To put this into perspective, we played multiple rounds of rock, paper, scissors. She picked scissors every time, while we kept picking rock. Oh yeah, and the Shogun, she was also so nice, because whenever I got my like the custom autograph for her to sign it out. I always ask if they can address it to the Michael Jordan of Genshin, but I got her to write out the entire quote of the almighty writing of like none can contend with the almighty Raiden Shogun and the Muso no Hirotachi. She wrote out the entire thing. And like as she was writing it, I was like, thank you so much for writing all this. I know it's a lot. And she's like, it's no problem at all. I have thought of like a t-shirt, literally like the worst possible design. Like this is guaranteed to get you bullied in school. So you know how my logo has like the MF on it? I thought of having it to wear a shirt where it just says, I'm that MF on there. So it's supposed to be like, I'm that motherfucker, but it has my logo on there. Talk about, you would probably not be able to show your face in public. The literal worst, the worst possible, like you would actually get bullied. Woman repellent, it is horrible. I think I might be an omen. I think I might be a symbol of misfortune. So are you guys familiar with what's going on with like the Mr. Beast situation? We're not going to get into it. We're not going to get into it because like not all of the information is out. I just want to say that I really do think I am a symbol, because you guys remember how in the no teleporting video I had like a bunch of Mr. Beast jokes? Believe it or not, this is the 4th time something has happened where I've like made jokes about a celebrity and something has come out about them later. In my senior year of high school, I was being a bit of a class clown and I started saying Mamba mentality. 2 days later, Kobe Bryant died. In college, I started sending and saving a lot of EDP memes and I started sending it in the group chat. It was like a lot of them. A couple weeks later, the EDP situation came out. This year, in my news broadcasting class, before every show we put on, I would play Drake in the newsroom for us to listen to get ready, to get amped for the show. 1 week later, the Kendrick beef happened. And now the situation with Mr. Beast. I am an actual omen. Who knows? Like, probably by the time this video comes out with Joe Biden 2024, he'll probably be dead or something. Federal agents, that is a joke. I just remembered another one. Chat room. My senior year of high school specifically, I was taking English Comp 2. I was taking a college level English class in high school. And we had to write an argumentative essay. Do you want to know what my topic was on? Should vaccines be mandatory? Literal months before the COVID pandemic happened. And that's not all. I also wrote an essay on, guess what? Should gambling be legal or not? All we have to do is follow Venti, and let's just take a moment to think about how scary that must be to turn around and see someone swinging a sword and slowly jumping towards you. Like seriously, could you imagine Michael Myers doing something like that? We actually have to do this every time. Rolling is the only way we can traverse this place, but there is a little bit of tech that we can use here. While we're rolling, I'm going to be holding A on the keyboard so that it turns me left, so pay attention to this. See, sometimes you can get those height moments when you do a diagonal roll by pressing both the directions at the same time.
Wait, what? That's insane.
Oh my god. Yeah, Sleepy Joe's awake right now. Joe Biden's up. Normally for this part, I just try and knock the slime off the ledge, but Kale can't do that because she's a bow character. So she just kind of had to thug it out. Yep. Why?
You hear thunder?
Adventure time, come on, grab your friends, go to very distant lands. Jake the dog and Finn the human, the fun will never end. It's adventure time.
My main goal here was to try and get at least one target with Guoba. But if you've been paying attention to this video, you could guess that luck is still not on our side. During the chasm, we made some more wishes. Finally, a pole arm. Please. One pole arm. Oh my. This part was horrifying for one reason. In order for us to kill this mandatory enemy, we had to hit this explosive barrel, meaning we were guaranteed to take damage. Enemies, puzzles, and even chests are not safe places. This challenge has really made me paranoid to the point where even on my main account, I still get a sense of dread whenever I take damage. And poor Bennett is literally 1 HP. You can't even see his health, and don't you lie to me, I know you can't see his health. However, she was able to land a cheap shot on him with this plunge attack. Are you kidding me?
Bo ho, bo ho, bo ho, bo ho.
Yes, I really did this. This time, it was serious. No pop-up screen, no Oni Plays Best of compilation in the background. It was time to lean in. It was time for this wolf to step out of the shadow and into the sun. We were being way too liberal in our last playthrough, and by being liberal, I didn't mean we were complaining about it. I meant that I wasn't saving my resources, I was just giving them out to everyone, even if they weren't being used at that moment. This led to me being out of books and money for our characters. So for this run, I was gonna become more conservative with our playstyle. And by conservative, I didn't mean we were gonna be complaining about it. So congrats,
Rukashava.
mushrooms. No, it's not. It's Dia. I love bombs. That was satire, feds. The main thing I want to talk about here is his head, because for some reason, my arrows were not hitting it here. Huh?
Skip it up and down up.
Are you fucking kidding me? What? The only one that I need to talk about is Amber's. Amber's quest was probably the third most annoying quest in this entire challenge. This bitch had us going across the country just to glide. She just wanted us to glide. We start at the church, then go somewhere else. Then we go back to the church again and go somewhere else. And you want to know where this quest ends? Back at the church again. I got it! And no, Lynette will not be leveled up because there is no way in hell that I'm gonna walk all the way over to Fontaine just to get her resources. This skill is unlocked at level 1 and that's all we need. Okay, so if you didn't know, chat, this past week I had another kidney stone. It was my 5th one. Yeah, my kidneys are a cobblestone generator. Imagine if I combine this challenge with no stamina challenge. Let me list off 3 things I would rather do than combine this with a no stamina. Number 1, get waterboarded, get mugged in an alley, and number 3, run a mile. The first time I did this boss battle, I actually died, and I thought that this boss was going to be a pain in the ass. Dude, this boss is a pain in the ass. These are some of the more annoying enemies for us to battle simply because they're invisible and we can only rely on auto-targeting for battle. We can't do anything. It's like being a baby with object permanence and you're forced to play peekaboo. I can still see you, I just can't do anything about it. Platforming isn't too bad because we can actually move a somewhat good distance with our jumps, and also because we got a new team member. Sleepy Joe is back, this time with a new upgrade, rocks to the right of it, and sometimes you just straight up cannot talk to someone just because you're not directly in front of them. We need you to turn around, please. Talk to Shincho. I can't talk to him from here. This is actually going to be the hardest part of this challenge, trying to line up a conversation with him. Fuck! I didn't have to talk, what? We just had to be in that exact spot? I was visiting my first cousin's place, and my first cousin, she has kids. I got to experience talking to this generation's youth for like the actual first time, and they were playing Fortnite, and I was egging them on. This one kid kept making excuses for when he was doing bad. He was like, man, this delay is really bad, and there's just no delay. And I was like, I bet you can't even crank 90s. And he was like, I can't crank 90s, I can't crank 90s. I was like, no, you can't, no, you can't. And he was like, watch me, watch me. I was like, okay. Then he'd crank a 90, I'd be like, okay, but you're still bad. He's like, I'm not bad. I was like, get top 25. And then he got like 30th. I was like, you're bad. He was like, shut up, I'm better than you. How many skins do you have? Then we went into their attic, and my brother, he's like 6'4", so his head was hitting the roof. And then he was talking to the kids. He said, you gotta be careful because one day you're gonna end up like me and banging your head on the roof. Then she looked at me and she said, he doesn't have that problem. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why'd you say it? That was so uncalled for. Actually just fucking called me short, uncalled for. And then she asked me, since she was like, are you at college? I was like, yeah, I just graduated. She was like, did you play football? I was like, what? And she was like, you look like a linebacker. And I was like, you literally just called me short. What's my height? 5'8". I am average height, okay, chat room? I'm average height. 5'8.5" if you want to be exact. Short king, I'm average king. I am not a short king, I am average king. That's not average, that's not below average. Is that not what I said, chat room? Is that not what I said? Is that not what I said? That's literally me. That is literally me. I am average. I am average. We needed to kill the Ruin Guard, so we had to go after him because the animal avatar would hit us. And it's just too much. Kaya died to the rockets. Fischl got caught on a treasure chest during the Ruin Guard spin move, and Beto got stuck on a box during the rockets. I lost. I couldn't beat it. The challenge was over. But I still wanted to try. I knew that in my heart of hearts, there had to be some way that this was possible with our team. So I got the band back together, put them back to the same health, and went for round 2. This was the real lock-in time. Kaya died quickly after being put in a position where we had to get hit by the rockets. Our strategy was basically to run around in circles and use Oz. As Oz does his thing, we use charge attacks on the guard and Animo Rogue in hopes to stun the guard during its main damaging moves. Our strategy was working. Just like my first relationship, we were taking it slow, but we were still getting some progress made, while taking some stray hits along the way. Eventually, we took down the Ruin Guard with both of our characters at around 2,000 HP. But we weren't done with this area yet. We still had to take down the Rogues. Yeah, they patched it out. You have to defeat all the enemies here now. We still played super safe with these two. Even with the Ruin Guard being defeated, I wasn't going to take any chances. So we just kept moving forward around the opposite ends of the room and shooting him in its head. Eventually, that got the job done and we were finished with this section. I was locked in for that entire fight. I did not talk even once during it. It was time for the archery demonstration. Now, can Lynette break the targets? Yes, but can Lynette break all of the targets?
Pressure getting to you?
Yes to that, also because of magic. You know, because her brother uses a bow, and you know that old saying about twins, how they can read each other's thoughts and they also share the same archery skills. It's a saying that goes all the way back into the medieval times. It's a crazy world out there. For the 2 story quests, the experience wasn't that bad because we did a little multitasking. ADHD kids mad confused right now. Our 3 main characters all use weapons that require the materials from this place. The prototype Rancor, Debate Club, and the Skyrider sword. Of course, their materials weren't here today, but it's the thought that counts. The real challenge was not wanting to rethink my life choices after seeing this distance. Oh lord, chat. We got a new high. We are now starting Leeway, Act 1, at 16 hours. Why? I got so caught up in trying to do the skip when we had a perfectly fine pyro character to activate the monument, making this our first mess up. No!
Whoops.
And of course, I immediately went for the skip again, and it worked. You miss all the shots you don't take. Boom, another 1,000-meter walk. All right, let's see how far this is. We got a new high. How far is that in freedom? Did I tell you guys that I actually knew a school shooter? I feel like I did, but I can't remember. It's a crazy story. I wasn't like friends with them or anything. I was not friends with them. But in 7th grade, there was a kid who moved to our city for a little bit, and he was in my school. I would talk with him a little bit, and I would poke fun at him a little bit because he carried around a satchel. You guys know what a satchel is, right? And he'd call it a satchel, but I'd joke around with him, and I called it a man purse. Yeah, I'd just joke around with him a little bit. He'd get a little angry, but it wasn't too angry. So what ended up happening was he was gone by the end of 7th grade. Junior year of high school, we hear about a school shooting that happened, I believe, in a state that's like 2 states north of us, and there was a school shooting that happened there. And my friend told me about it. He was like, hey, do you remember this person? I was like, yeah. And they were like, they shot up a school. I was like, what? And it was like, yeah, they shot up a school. I was like, that's actually insane. TLDR, if you were classmates with Mistahfeet, pray that you were still sane. Believe it or not, chat room, I was not the goofball that you think I am in all classes. It mainly just depended on the class. It mainly just like depended on the audience. Because if I was in a classroom with people I didn't really know, I didn't talk much. I was just minding my own business. Was I the nerd then? I wasn't the guy who'd like raise his hand every time the teacher asked a question and be like, yes, it's actually blank. I'm not like the, wait, you forgot to take up our homework, or wait, don't we have a quiz today? I was not that kid. I know some of you guys will probably think that of me, but I was not that child. The land of the Dendro Archon, we must crawl out of this hole. And following minutes of climbing and waiting and climbing and waiting, we drew closer to the light that served as a beacon of freedom. It was like the ending of that one horror movie, The Descent, but imagine instead at the end when she got out of the hole, there was another cave she had accidentally crawled into. So we had to go back to the tree, and following minutes of climbing and waiting and climbing and waiting. Yeah, I can't make this as dramatic as I wanted it to because we did this earlier. Now we'll give out some awards. The longest distance award goes to the Dainsliff Chasm quest with 5,000 meters. If you want to include quests that were not required, then it would go to the Sayray Storm Chasers with 11,000 meters. The quest that changed the most in this challenge would be Fontaine Act 5 with the mandatory inclusion of unfinished comedy. The quest that changed the least would probably be Inazuma Act 2. There were actually a good bit of quests in contention for this one. Sumeru Act 3, and surprisingly Fontaine Acts 3 and 4. I thought both of those quests would be nightmares because of the 20-second elevator rides, but they didn't happen as often often as you would think. And that's because the game will just automatically bring you down for certain parts of the story. Now we have the award for most valuable character, which goes to Diluc. He was here at the beginning and was probably the best standard banner 5-star we could have got for this challenge. Easy reactions to get, resources are in Mondstadt, the boss location isn't too far from a statue in Leeway. It was just perfect for this run. Oh, God. Oh my God, that hurts so much. There's actually 1 in 7 billion chances that you will be struck by lightning. I know. And you know what's crazy? There's a lower chance that you will win in gambling. So that should serve as your reminder to always go big. Yaoi is boy x boy. Yuri is girl x girl. Okay. In the anime Yuri on Ice, Yuri is the MC. So is Yuri on Ice actually Yaoi? Yes. I'm gonna be honest. That seems like a design flaw. They should really patch that. That's not good game design. I don't have the glider, that's why I can't get this. Oh my God, I'm so stupid. Speaking of rom-com animes, chat, do you want to know the biggest insult I've gotten in my life? And it came from one of my closest friends, and I was so hurt by it. We were having a conversation about manga and stuff, and he said to me, hey, you read Rent a Girlfriend, right? And I felt so hurt from that. Like, my heart crumbled. I could not believe what he told me. He was like, hey, don't you read Rent a Girlfriend? The audacity! But was he right? No! Starting with the cooking pot, Biden's tax fraud manager was temporarily replaced with his hired gunman. And I'll be honest, she did not do a great job. I would say that this was much more impressive than actually hitting the arrows. Hold up, he's got a Molotov. Oh no, does he die from this? All right, chat, put yourselves in that treasure hoarder's shoes right there. Go in his shoes real quick. Would you have lived that? And be honest, would you have survived? Yes or no? I saw in chat that you will fail this mission if just one of the turrets gets destroyed, which made me really nervous because towards the end, one of our turrets had 2 HP, and I really wasn't sure if we were gonna have to restart or not. But at the end of the day, I guess we'll never know, unless someone says it in the comments. Go, go. It's looking at a flower. How was this so difficult? Why did that take so long? Why? Wait, no walking? Am I insane? You call it insane. I call it normal. What is my hair color? I have green hair, believe it or not, chat room. Green hair, and I have like face painted white skin and like a red smile that I painted on my face, on my mouth. That's what I look like. You want to know why, chat? You want to know who I am? I'm the Joker, baby. Like, if you had to compare me to like anybody in the world, would you say I'm like the Joker? I kind of think I'm like a little crazy. No one really quite gets me.
I want to be free of this pain.
With the end of Leeway came the beginning of Dane and a new weapon that we can't use. I decided to swap our sharpshooter's oath for a slingshot.
Look, I'm gonna hit you with this slingshot.
During the transport mission, I missed 3 horrible shots on this enemy. Okay, but how did that last one miss? Use Traveler Burst. So that way, in the event that we couldn't drown them, we would at least do some good damage. But this unfortunately led to our Traveler getting stuck and dying. But he did take out one of the flowers on his way out. So now, it was up to Zhang Ling. However, fate was on our side because one of the flowers decided to do its turret move. We had Guobo available, which meant that he could remove its shield and stun the flower. And since that flower was stunned, we could now 1v1 the other one and knock him into the river. Once we did that, we hit the last flower into the river and won the battle. Do some charged attack gameplay. Unfortunately for us, we lost Zhang Ling in this domain because I got caught in the bubble, and since falling into the void damages everyone in the party, Zhang Ling had to pay the price for Sucrose's mistake.
I killed my teammate. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hello. Ta-da. Hello. Ta-da. Hello. Ta-da. Hello. Nice to meet you. Hello.
This puts us at C2, which is one of my favorite constellations in the game. Just because whenever you hit an enemy with your last attack, the pyro energy goes right up to their thighs.
And then you blow up.
Stumbled upon the bubbles. These bubbles are dangerous because if we get touched, we fall and we get teleported. So if we get hit, that's 50 pulls. $100. No! No! No!
Whoops.
We basically have to wait for the 3 bubbles. Once that's gone, then we can run up. No, it's a 3 again. Do these come back? Are they like Springtrap? But once we cleared the last group of enemies, you'll never guess where we had to go next. Back to the church again. 2,700 meters. Oh, yeah. Woo!
What took you so long?
You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
Don't fall this time. You make it sound like I was actively trying to. Expert movement right there. Up next was the battle against the
Shogun Raiden.
Dramatic effect.
Cowards do that, and that is you!
Chat, the Sumeru Desert is like how you should view your partners in life. Do not fall for the pretty ones. Make sure there's more substance to them. Have you guys seen the rumors about what the Trump shooter was doing before he did the assassination attempt? Did you see what was on his phone before he did it? If you don't know, it was I don't know if I can say the word, it was corn. Now my question to you, chat room, do you think he was an Overwatch kind of guy or a Genshin guy? Discuss. Because I think that would say more about his character than like his past like social media posts. I saw the raids at the last second. Thank you for the raid. That is way too... I need to turn that down. Hey, yo, hello, Bran online. Wait, Bran, if you're not streaming right now, would that make you Bran offline? Chat discussion. Near the end, we have to help her in a cooking contest, but she wants us to give her either a frog or lizard tail. And I mean, what are the odds the one day that Joe Biden leaves the office, he didn't bring his iconic frog and lizard tail that he always has in his pocket? So we had to go find them. The problem is that since we move with our attacks, if an attack hits a frog, it dies. And it also doesn't help that they hop away from us. But as a reward, we got a new party member.
Ta-da! 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 Ta-da!
I had to lock in there. Had to lock in there. Because when they do their move, we just have to hold it. We can't do anything. We're not fast enough. When things started to get creative. Ever since the Barbara video, I always had this idea that it should be possible to activate this knob without having to fight the rest of the 5 enemies here. But I never had a character that was tall enough, or at least not until now, where the classic duo of Geo Traveler and Kaya teamed up once again to climb up these pipes and activate the 4th pillar. What if we get Genshin on the Switch too? I really do wish that we did get Genshin on the Switch. That way I could use my Switch as like a form of self-defense. Because you guys know, do you guys remember the end of Kung Fu Panda 2 where a Poe threw that fireball back at Lord Shin? I feel, because that's what I would do. If there was like someone trying to rob my house, I would just throw my Switch running Genshin Impact at them and it would like burn them to a crisp. What are you doing? Huh? I'm the biggest Demon Slayer fan? No, you're not. I'm the biggest Demon Slayer fan. Thoughts on the new Demon Slayer season? I haven't seen it.
Alrighty then. You heard her. Back to the city. Let's not keep her waiting.
I don't think we have any control over that. With the next strength, his ability. This ability is so good, it's insane. It's called...
Passion.
That guy in the back.
You'll be fast. In and out.
Almighty Raiden.
Huh? Because if you go to this man standing next to the platform and ask him, do you sell the moon here, while calmly holding a gun next to his head, he will let you ride this platform up to the chamber, which ends the quest. But then something really weird happened. As I was jumping off the building, the game saved us. What? This confused both me and the chat, so we did some investigating. I'm gonna teleport back up there because I'm genuinely curious about this. And this time, everything was fine. Okay, so I have no idea what that was then. So that accomplished nothing. And no, we're not gonna count this because it was not in my control. Someone suggested that it was maybe the game having to get rid of the resources from the last quest, but I'm not sure.
Mr. Sansweet didn't ask to be saved. Mr. Sansweet didn't want to be saved. Hey, I saved your life! You didn't save my life, you ruined my death. That's what you...
I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. Also, there was in 5th grade, there was a kid next to me. He literally sat next to me. He had a pistol in his locker, and I never knew about it. Like, I think eventually there was some, like, officials that, like, went through his bag and they found the pistol, and he got expelled. Just American thing? Well, the thing is, they said they found the pistol in his locker, but what I was confused about was, like, I didn't know we had lockers in the school, if I'm being honest, chat room. I didn't have a locker. I didn't know they were a thing in that school. I'm being serious. He had a gun in his locker, but my whole thing is like, we have lockers? I was like, why didn't I know about this? But I will say this, there were kids who brought pistols to school, but they would keep it in their cars simply because of gang. There were kids in my school who were like involved with gangs, and there were gang violence. Like whenever they were driving home from school, they had to have pistols in their car just for self-defense. I'm being serious. I'm being real serious about that. As a non-American, I can't imagine this. This is not accurate to most American schools, by the way. This is not accurate. You sound like I live in an action drama? No, the complete opposite. If there was action happening, I was not there. Chat, in my entire life, there were a ton of fights in my school, but I only got to watch like one of them. I would always end up leaving right before a fight happened. The guards had pepper sprays for fights whenever they happen to. Normally, if an enemy has a shield, the move is to either destroy it or just run behind them and attack them with the backshot barrage. But these enemies are special because you can't destroy their shields, so we have to get behind them. The issue is getting behind them. Towards the start, we have to follow the voices. And since we are next to Irminsul, our abilities to jump, pull out a sword, and crouch are just fully disabled. Now, if you want to get philosophical here, I performed the Genshin Shuffle, so technically it's not walking because it's not a continuous motion, but my fingers got tired and I couldn't keep going. Once we made a peace treaty with the unkillable Hydro Herald.
You were supposed to condemn him.
What? Act 4 gave us more of a challenge. We began with a race against Isak, which normally would be a stomp, but in this environment, it was pretty even. And we were doing this for fun, so this didn't even really matter in the end, so yeah, it was fine. Nothing happened. On the path to the pyramid, we were able to glide for most of it, but we did have to jump for the last remaining 700 meters, and if we go back to the math chart, that would be over 200 jumps, but I'm not like a math genius. You would have to use a calc to find that out. Calc is short for calculator, by the way. We're just using a little bit of slang. Some Mistahfeet lore. I can tell you about how in a 3rd grade, there was a kid in my class who had tried to cut off his male parts with scissors. I remember that, yes, because it happened at my lunch table. 3rd grade, we were leaving our classroom. He grabbed the scissors from the table, and then we went over to the cafeteria. Once we made it to the cafeteria, he was like, I'm gonna cut it off. Then he put the scissors down there, and he started cutting it. He was just like, ah! He did not get far. He did not get far. After he put a little bit of pressure on it, he stopped immediately. Yeah, but that was the story. Do I like ASMR/mukbang? I'll do some mukbang for you right now. But to answer your question, no. I can't stand smacking. Smacking is actually like one of my least favorite things in the world. It's disgusting. People who smack are eating like animals, willingly. Smacking's disgusting. Ugh. I'll do some mukbang for you guys right now. I'm chewing gum. It is Hubba Bubba watermelon flavor. It is now stuck on my teeth. POV ASMR, you're in an abusive relationship with a top boyfriend that gives you no control. What are you doing? Did I say you could do that? Stop that. He gets angry at you, then the car swerves. The car swerve, boom, explosion. You sure have a lot of hair on your arm? Yeah, I do. Seeing those comments about it, I was fully expecting this. One of my teachers in high school joked me about it. He called me a woolly mammoth. He was like, my fault. I picked the wrong small ass dot on the map. Okay. And then people are gonna be like, oh, how did he not get Cyprus? And it's like, dog, how can I? Seriously. Hi. I wasn't looking to drown the flowers this time, but rather just straight up nuke them.
Vape. Vape comes out in the motherfucker.
God
Pressure getting to you?
After missing somehow another headshot, there's no way it was my fault that time. Now, I want you to take a wild guess as to how many plunge attacks it takes to break these rocks based off of this clip. I'll wait. If you answered 20, you would be correct. Bennett is a medium male. This gave us a perfect angle to go straight into the Ascension domain. All we had to do was walk the furthest distance we've ever had. We got a new high. 4,690 meters.
See, this is why I wanted to have a costume meeting.
Alright, I'm back. I was gonna say something like funny to come back, but I saw a chat that said, welcome girl with no pupils, and now I cannot unsee that anymore. Thank you for ruining this character design for me. Yep, and we had to collect those damn frogs again. Why do we need this to make bomb oil? Before we can hear the funny voice line, we have to set off the fireworks and run away. As we move closer to the fireworks, we can jump and attack. But as soon as we press F, we lose that privilege. And we are stuck with the rolling again. The first plan I thought of was rolling to the right and climbing alongside the bridge. But realistically, there was no way we could crawl alongside the bridge and roll to the tea house all in 40 seconds while recovering for stamina and not getting caught. So we had to go for plan B. When you roll off of the edge, you cannot glide. If you roll off of an edge, then you will fall until you hit the ground. So what we had to do was aim our roll towards the left and fall off the wood. Once we fall, we need to turn back around and use my iconic jump technique to grab onto the wood. Once we're on it, we go towards the top, fall, and glide, then turn around to the wind current and follow the path towards the tea house. This area completely took me off guard, and I made a mistake while trying to work this out. But we did come up with a solution, and as a reward, we got to hear,
"None can contend with the supreme power of the almighty Raiden Shogun and the Muso no Hitotachi."
Now, if you want to get philosophical here, technically I didn't walk because I wasn't pressing W. The game was walking, not me. But even still, I'll count it as a can't because, I mean, just look at it. America, rah! Why am I doing this? Because if he doesn't, who will? Exactly. This is my burden. I'm like Jesus Christ, but instead of dying for our sins, I play Genshin Impact. What made you want to do this? I was going to bed one night, and then a random thunderstorm came across, and it was just thunder and lightning going off, like, just surrounding my house. It wasn't anywhere else in the neighborhood. It was just in my house. And then I looked up, and it awoke me from my sleep. So I said, what is doing this? And believe it or not, I see Zeus. Zeus himself, the god of the sky, told me that if I do not attempt to beat Genshin Impact without walking, then this perpetual thunderstorm will never leave my house. So that's why you can hear, that's why you'll occasionally hear thunder in the background. Sometimes like, you'll occasionally hear the thunder. It's because I'm being forced to do this. I cannot leave until it is done. Blink twice if you need help. I mean, I already told you I do need help. Zeus is causing a thunderstorm. He's causing a thunderstorm outside, but it's it's really impressive though. It's not causing my internet to go out. You low-key give off the Cat Noir vibes. What is the Cat Noir? How do I not know Miraculous Ladybug? Am I supposed to know this? Cat Noir is basically you, but blonde. Do I act like Black Noir, the Black Cat Noir? He's the teenager in the skin-tight black suit. Okay, you could have just said the black suit. You didn't have to include the skin-tight there. The concept is great, but the writing is so bad, it's made for infants. Of course the writing's not that good. Okay. Hold up. I have to pause. How the fuck am I anything like this guy? What? What? You guys say I'm like him? And enter the domain to dominate everything in there.
No, listen to me!
That's not what he said. That's not what he said. Like, seriously, we got this soy girl over here throwing lightning, then we got the Chad Joe just throwing a rock at someone for 500 damage. Putting this on the FNAF scale, we're looking at a Nightmare Freddy, folks. Yeah, this is the big time. Telling us that we were not ready.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Okay. We just had one more thing to go through.
Was the lie detector determined? That was a lie.
Is this challenge fun? Fun is subjective. Oh, Mujin, thank you for the raid. Oh, that was right in my ear. Oh, thank you for the raid. Oh, okay. I have that. Thank you so much for the raid. Okay, here's the thing. I have that turned up so loud for myself. That hurts me so much. Arnold, why? Why? Ow. And the music was going down too, so it couldn't drown it out. Why? Arnold, did you start stream just to raid me? Did you do that on purpose? Yes. It used to be usually like you see like a fat ass, you go like, God damn. Then it just gets shortened to like, yeah. Why don't I trust you? Chat, I'm literally not lying. Isn't that like word for word, bar for bar, the origin of Gyat?
And then you blow up.
We then made our way into the pyramid domain just so we could keep getting interrupted. Please. Aww. Since we entered the pyramid that makes it to where you can't use a weapon jump or crouch, we had to walk. Man. Now, if you want to get philosophical here, you could argue that we weren't walking because I was pressing A and D on the keyboard and not W, which stands for walking, so it wouldn't be breaking the rules, but I mean, coming on, could just look at it.
Everywhere I go, I see his face.
Next, we had to play as a child, and the game does force us to walk here, but I'm not going to count this because, 1, we aren't in control at all, and 2, this isn't a playable character. Sorry, Isak, you should have let me win the race earlier, you little shit. I know for a fact I would beat that 6-year-old in a fight. This character sucks. Act 3 doesn't have much to talk about. It is just exploring and talking to people, so I'll show you this clip for 6 seconds and let you imagine how this felt for over an hour.
It was my honor to serve you.
Diggy said the boogie said, don't jump the boogie. Oh, with the bada bang, the bang, diggy, diggy, diggy said the boogie said, don't jump the boogie. You stop when it's aimed properly, that's the thing. But you can't tell when it's aimed properly because the fucking camera. How will I defeat Senora? So what's gonna happen with Senora is that we are gonna bring a gun. Oh, chat. Did we take our normal pills? Okay, but for the person who asked, how are we gonna do the electro pillars in Inazuma? Literally like this. What are you doing? Or no way. No way. Wow. We could very easily take some unnecessary damage, but I chose to do this because this is what I always do in these challenges, and I was confident in my abilities. I wasn't afraid of catching a cold. Do they know who I am? I take it back, chill, get it, stop, I was AFK. I didn't know you and my two least reliable colleagues were acquainted. I'm the Balladeer, number 6 of the Fatuya Harbingers. Delighted to meet you, oh mighty traveler. So many visitors today. To what do I owe the honor? I'm obviously not the mastermind behind this. Aren't you supposed to be the pretty tough one? What are you waiting for? Go get them. You're getting all worked up over nothing. Didn't have you pegged as being so weak. How can you call it anything more? It's the way of the world. Human life is worthless. Do you have any idea how useful this vision hunt degree is to us? It took a lot of work to make this happen. Now, obviously, it wasn't in our best interest. Good news is our hard work is finally paying off. Generating conflict creates a big market for delusions. For just a small price, they get the feeling of controlling the world, trading their life for supreme power. Pretty good deal, don't you think? The more it takes time from them, the more tightly they hold on to it, and the more incompetent they become. The more determined they are to fight. Don't you dare mock Tepe! Just like that. Embrace the anger. Embrace it! The wrath of the gods fills this factory, and it feeds on your anger. Electro and Pyro are both two very dangerous elements for us. Do you see that? Mush, Diluc, mush! Mush, Diluc, mush! With that out of the way, it collapses under us. So yet again, we have encountered a section where the platforms disappear. And yet again, I fell down. No! I was right there! Oh, another 5-star, whoa. Another weapon? Luckily for us, none of the enemies here had any ranged attacks, so all we had to do was zone them out. Stop it, big head! That's cheating, big head! They also hurt everyone. It's like that one kid in school who got in trouble, and now the whole class gets punished. It's not a class, it's a family. We just have to activate the Dendro Pillars. But this is where Hoyoverse decided to be dick, because in order to activate 2 of them, we have to fight some enemies first.
You want to get to him, you gotta go through me.
The way people charge in here as they please. So uncivilized. If I didn't know this was Tenshikaku, I might have mistaken it for some kind of street market. Have you learned your lesson now? Oh no. Oh no. What has she done to Kujo Sara? Then I apologize, All Might. I know. You can't get me out of your mind. But do you really need to call my name all the time? Don't go thinking I'm surprised to see you here. I'm well aware that you hate me, with the way you follow me around like a dark shadow. Just like a Tokoyami for my class. I'm just kidding, of course. I'm just a Snatch 9 diplomat. I'm afraid I have no idea what you're talking about. He doesn't take us seriously. Stop talking about people and things that I care nothing about. They were nobodies to begin with, and their names will be forgotten. But now, at least, they will get to be building blocks in the grand revolution to realize eternity. Is that not the greatest honor they could hope for in their tiny little lives? All Might, do correct me if I'm wrong. That's ancient history, you know. You certainly love to hold a grudge. The Sarita's dream is the noblest and purest thing in all the world. These other mundane details you insist on mentioning, they're all just unnecessary sacrifices. That's all. You? Stop me? I have one for all on my side, or all for one. For what it's worth, I've grown tired of seeing you around as well, but I didn't have you pegged as someone who would quite so full-heartedly. Before you go saying something you can't take back, remember that you're Inazuma's most wanted criminal, and I'm a hero, so I'm allowed to take you down. Charging into Tenshitaku uninvited and lecturing me in front of the Shogun wasn't the brightest move, you know. Don't think it's time you to stop digging. I'm not sure you realize just quite how much distance there is between us, both in status and in strength. You're full of surprises. So you've learned to make the law of the land work for you too, I'll admit that I never expected to be in a situation where the two of us were on equal footing. You are aware that the loser must die. Are you sure this is what you want? Joe Biden? Then I will deign to share this last dance with you, till death do us part. I'll turn the music up a little more. La déjà pouvais toro it goes too slow. It's too slow. Oh, du son nous rend. Vai danser nos vies. Yeah. No. Oh, my noise. No cute. Mon Dieu. Okay. Voice crack so hard. Shut up. You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. Hi, I just joined. Oh, welcome. Bro turned into a sheep. I can't help it. The woohoo sound effect. Oh gosh, this part. Long, le grand amour ne se fouta, de la fête fleurira, de notre histoire de vie, dans cette miroir, je serai toujours. Night with no desire of you. This is the Shaman. This is the best welcome on this channel. We're gonna walk this because it's what we deserve. The timer doesn't matter now. We have finally done this. It seemed impossible. Had we not waited for AR-35, had we gone to Inazuma before AR-35, we would have been stuck. It would have been a mess up. It would have been a can't. But we played this smart. We did this, chat. There were doubts at the beginning. People said it would take too long. I would get bored. It couldn't be done. And you know what, chat? You want to know what some people said? Some people said that I would lose. Now, let me ask you, chat. Would I lose? We talked to this lady by the tree. Say, Kari Bear, yeah, he was a nice guy. He was real. You're not crazy. And we're done. After 66 hours, 47 minutes, and 26 seconds, we beat Genshin Impact without teleporting. Here it is. We are finally reaching the goal. It's been quite a long journey. Were there some downer moments? Yes. Unfortunately, the game is pretty bad, and they want to add emotional tension and force you to walk. Literally 1984. But throughout most of it, we have defied the odds. We have done what was seen as impossible, brain dead, or even as some would call it, stupid. What started off as us abandoned on the side of a shore, waking up from our iconic nap, Joe Biden decided to make a name for himself and woke up and decided, you know what, I am not running. So that's what we did. Sleepy Joe Biden accomplished what he set out to do. He did not run. And with this last photograph, bedtime story is complete, and so is our journey. And after 52 hours, 45 minutes, and 43 seconds, we beat Genshin Impact without walking.
Tell me why I'm here and what's the reason I am here today. If I recall, it was you wished that I would stay.
Tornado uppercut!
And that's why